Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel. So I am back at the Disneyland Resort. This is my first trip since 2023 and we've got a lot to cover. I am late in celebrating the park's 70th anniversary, so we're gonna do that, as well as go on the two rides that have not been open since I was last here. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and TIANA'S Bayou Adventure. So let's not waste any more time and let's get this trip started. It is good to be back in classic Main Street, USA. This all just feels so familiar. And with this cloudy weather, this is my ideal theme park kind of day. I should also mention that this is also my first trip back to Disneyland in California since visiting Disneyland Paris last year. That park may have spoiled me a little bit because there are things that Disneyland Paris just does better than here. Case in point, the castle. Like, walking into this park, I forgot how tiny our Sleeping Beauty castle is. I mean, look, I love it. It's iconic. It's the original classic, but Paris just did it better. They also did Pirates and Haunted Mansion better, or Phantom Manor in their case. Space Mountain, I'm still not sure which one I prefer, but we're gonna do those three attractions in addition to the new stuff that is here that I haven't done yet. One major thing that I've noticed now that I've been to Disneyland Paris is that there are a lot more trees on Main Street and in the area near the castle, whereas Disneyland Paris practically has no trees in this spot at all. And you know, there's Tomorrowland. There's no hotel off in the distance. It is good to be back, but I love seeing the differences between different Disney castle parks. Got the Disney ducks swimming around here. No waterfall on the side like in Paris. And again, you really have no idea how small this castle is until you actually walk up to it, especially after seeing the one in Disneyland Paris. First stop on the agenda today is Mickey's Toontown. Rarely have I ever started my day at Disneyland here, but I have a very good reason to. First off, they're actually playing Powerline music here, a nice, relaxing version of it, which is pretty cool. But the reason we're here is because of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which I have not been on. This attraction actually opened up a couple months after my original Magic Key expired. So now that I'm back, I'm finally going to check it out, and it's at a 5-minute wait. So I'm going to switch over to the Canon GX, and let's go. A lot of cool fake movie posters here, but with Disney characters. The absent-minded Professor Von Drake. The original Flubber. The Feisty Duck, I'm not sure. I guess Mighty Ducks? I know this is supposed to be Hocus Pocus. It's a mad world. I want to see what this movie would be like.
Welcome aboard, folks. We're ready for a relaxing ride around the park. We're right there with me. What could possibly go wrong?
That was really cute. Much better than I thought it would be, and a lot more aggressive as well. I did not expect those vehicles to just shake me back and forth. But no, that was fun. It looks much better than you would expect watching videos of it on YouTube. And while I'm not the biggest fan of them projecting faces onto animatronics, I just find it to be incredibly lazy. It works here because Mickey and Minnie Mouse are just so simplistic that not a lot of detail has to go into their faces. And I can't believe it's taken Disney this long to make a Mickey Mouse ride. Like, it's their icon. How did it take this long? I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna head over to the other side of the park where TIANA'S and Galaxy's Edge are. I just wanted to point out it's a small world because the facade for the Paris one is definitely a lot more colorful, but I don't really have a desire to go back on this ride, at least on this trip, to jog my memory on which version I prefer, because Small World has good intentions, but it's not a priority of mine. I'm gonna take the shortcut through Fantasyland, which I'm gonna be making a lot of comparisons to Disneyland Paris. It is much smaller here than over there. Disneyland Paris is smaller overall, but this Fantasyland feels much smaller, especially since, you know, there's a teeny tiny castle off in the distance. There's TIANA'S off in the distance. It's weird to see that attraction without the tree trunk sticking out from the top. And just a little side note, I can't believe this is all gone from Magic Kingdom. I've never been in Magic Kingdom myself, but the fact that they just took out the entirety of their Rivers of America, the Liberty Bell boat, and are now replacing it with cars, it makes no sense. This is literally an icon of every Disney castle park, and I can't believe that they just took it away over at Magic Kingdom. But, you know, further proof why Disneyland's the best, because we still have it. Okay, sorry for the abrupt cut, but I'm back at Main Street USA. I did walk up to TIANA'S Bayou Adventure. The wait time for that attraction is 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes when I checked, and it's 5 minutes right now. But I've got a bag and stuff right here, so I don't want to take it on me if I get in the front row. So I'm going to do what I did when I rode Splash Mountain in a previous vlog. I'm going to drop off my bag in a locker. Standard locker is about $7 and a double locker is $10. Not a bad price, I gotta say. And I'm just going to take my phone, I'm going to take the GoPro with me, and then just pick up all my stuff when I'm done. Because if I get that front row, then my bag is just completely drenched. So I'd just rather have it dry in a locker. And also I'm just gonna head over there right now so the announcer for the Disneyland Railway doesn't keep cutting me off. But yeah, let's go get a locker right now, and the next time you see me, it'll be on the end of a GoPro camera. Okay, the GoPro is out. Walking back through Main Street. I'm gonna walk through Frontierland. I also have a bag with me. I got some merch that I'll show off later, but I wanted to get this bag to keep my phone dry, assuming I get in the front row of TIANA'S. Okay, now bumped up from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, but still a pretty good wait time. Now I gotta say, I am not the biggest fan of Splash Mountain. I always found it to be a ride that you did when it was super hot. I didn't find anything to be all that special about it. And plus, what it's based off of, just, no thank you. And I'm actually a fan of Princess and the Frog as one of Disney's animated films. I think it's in my top 10, I believe. And I've heard a lot of bad things involving this ride, which, you know, the only person who can be the ultimate judge on your experience is yourself. So I'm anxious to see how this compares to the original Splash Mountain, which, again, not a fan of, mainly because of the source material. Yeah, let's go on it. Okay, not the front row. I'm in row 5, but based on how wet it is back here, we'll just see what happens.
Welcome, y'all. Let's meet up with Louis and find some positions for our party. Look out, Bayou, here we come.
The party's about to begin!
Don't you worry, Louis. We're gonna find just what we need in the Bayou. You don't have far to go. Tell the people Mama told you so.
Oh! Oh! Okay, we're good.
See, I don't want to run. There are musicians out here that really are good.
There's a big need. I would love for y'all to play at my party tonight.
Round, round band can show it up.
2D animation.
Get there in no time. Guaranteed. Hang on now.
Oh! Oh my! Oh! Oh! Recording this with my iPhone now. The reason I did meh after the drop is the level of water I got soaked with. The ride was okay, better than okay. It was good. I feel about it the same way I feel about Splash Mountain. I probably wouldn't go on it again unless it was like a really hot day and there was nothing else to do. It's definitely more lively than Splash Mountain, definitely more upbeat. I do agree that the Shadow Man should have been included somewhere in the attraction, like when you shrink down. But other than that, like the complaints people have about like the plot being better in Splash Mountain, I'm like, what plot? There's not a plot in Splash Mountain at all. You're just, it's like any of the other Fantasyland attractions. You're just going through scenes and you're not really taking a part of it. At least with this attraction, Tiana and everyone else are interacting with you. If I had to pick one, it'd probably be Tiana's, just based off of the source material. Like Song of the South is something that just does not work ever, and Princess and the Frog is one of my favorite Disney movies, in the top 10. Now I'm gonna head back to Main Street, grab my stuff, and do one of their big 70th anniversary editions over there. Yay! I don't remember the last time I was at the Main Street Opera House. I don't even remember the last time I saw Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, but I am here for A Magical Life Walt Disney, or Walt Disney A Magical Life, as the poster over there shows it as. Okay, never mind. They don't have the Walt Disney show on display. It's just Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, which I decided to check out anyway, and it was like watching it for the first time. I know they did some enhancements last time I saw it, which was over 20 years ago, but it was pretty cool to see. And I did get to see somewhat of a Disneyland museum that they set up for the 70th because the lobby was full of all this concept art. It was pretty cool to see, but no Walt Disney animatronic this time. Now they're setting up for a parade on Main Street, so I'm on the Tomorrowland side of the park. Let's just go into Tomorrowland. Good to be back in Tomorrowland. If this were Disneyland Paris, this would be Discoveryland. Star Tours actually does fit within this section. Star Wars never fit within Discoveryland, but Tomorrowland, it makes more sense.
Star Tours is pleased to announce its inaugural flights to the great city planet Coruscant. Sign up for a closely guided tour of the Imperial Senate and watch the Guardians of Peace and Justice in action. Enjoy at night at the opera or party all night long in Coruscant's famous club district.
That sounds like a fascinating tour. I would just join you. On second thought, I would just never barge in space travel. You have a nice trip, George. Hi there.
Right? What, you don't speak binary? Alright, let's move it along. Let's keep it moving.
Excuse me, Captain. See, 3PO, systems analyst.
It's about time. The binary elevator said.
Well, binary is like a second language, even. I could fix the motivator from here.
Just make it quick or schedule an appointment.
So there's no time to lose. Off you go, go. Tour droids. Brilliant. What? Oh, now this is not like a tour. Longer than I thought.
Yep, Star Tours is very much Star Tours, and I still love it. Didn't experience anything new this time around. It was Vader, Tatooine, Leia, and Geonosis with the Death Star construction, which I rarely get, but you can tell right before you jump into hyperspace if you're getting Geonosis or something else, because Geonosis is the only one that has a different setup. If you've been on the ride, you probably know, but yeah, that was still fun. I'm gonna head to Space Mountain right now, which is sitting at a 50-minute wait, but they have single rider, and since I am single, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I'm still very conflicted on which Space Mountain I prefer, the one here or the one in Paris. If we're talking about exterior, Paris wins by a long shot. This classic Space Mountain is iconic, but the other one just has a better look to it since it's themed off of Jules Verne and not the future. But the main thing we're gonna test out is the coaster and see how it fares, because it's been 3 years since I've done this Space Mountain. So this is a tough one to decide which is the better one, the Space Mountain here or the one in Paris, because they're two different coasters. Space Mountain in Paris, you go upside down, and I was like, am I really okay to bring my bag on? Because they say you can take your bag on. But anyway, they're two different breeds of coasters. I think I might have to give the edge to California just because I can ride Space Mountain as is. The one in Paris is stuck being Hyperspace Mountain, which is cool, but I feel like it would be so much cooler to see Space Mountain Mission 2 as it was originally designed for Discoveryland. So yeah, until Disney decides to bring the original Space Mountain back to Disneyland Paris, I think I'll stick with the California one. I am now in Adventureland about to do Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, which is currently at a 35-minute wait. So why am I doing this intro? Let's go. I had to do Indiana Jones because it's one of the greatest rides here at Disneyland, and especially after doing the Temple of Peril coaster at Disneyland Paris, that was awful, and I needed to get my fill of a good Indiana Jones ride. And funny enough, Dinosaur closed not too long ago, which had the same ride technology, so I never went on Dinosaur, unfortunately, but they are replacing it with their own Indiana Jones, and I'm curious to see if it's going to be any different than the one we have here. So with that out of the way, I was supposed to go on Pirates of the Caribbean, but they just closed due to technical difficulties. So I'm going to see what the wait time is at Haunted Mansion, because those are really the only two rides I have left to do in terms of my plan for today, because I want to see if, the Paris versions are still superior to the California versions here. Right now it's a 35-minute wait for Haunted Mansion, but it looks shorter, so maybe this will go by a little faster.
Is this haunted room actually stretching? Or is it your imagination which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out? Of course, there's always my way.
Phantom Manor still reigns supreme. It is infinitely better than Haunted Mansion, which is still amazing, but to give you an idea of how good Phantom Manor is at Disneyland Paris, when I was about to get in my dune buggy, I could just imagine seeing the bride looking out the window. That's how memorable that ride is. And now you might be wondering, wait a minute, why are you walking out of Galaxy's Edge? And why is it night all of a sudden? Well, my original goal was to do Pirates of the Caribbean right afterwards, but it was down for technical difficulties for a good while, so I decided to hop into Galaxy's Edge and film another video, which you will see before the end of the month. That's all I can say. But now Pirates is back up. Last time I checked the app, it was a 10-minute wait, and that's really the last thing I have to do in terms of today, so let's get to it. All right, good. It's still open, still a 10-minute wait.
Do I hear 10? A hen for a 10.
10? I'll give you 20 for the wrong.
Just keep his radio, make sure say grab his ears.
The castles and scoundrels, villains and knaves, they got to be haunted, yo-ho. The devils and black sheep are really bad eggs, they got to be haunted, yo-ho.
This one's a little harder to call because both Pirates of the Caribbean here and in Disneyland Paris have their strengths. I think the theming of the Paris one is much better, where you're entering an old pirate fortress, whereas the theming here is just kind of weird. It's a building in New Orleans, doesn't really have anything to do with pirates. I prefer the order of Paris, where you start out in the dungeons, you make your way through, I'm going to say Tortuga, and then you end in the caves. As my dad said when we went to Disneyland Paris last year, the order in Disneyland Paris's Pirates plays out a lot better than the one here, but the opening where you're going through the Bayou in this version is much better, and the cave sequence is better in California's version. Can't really decide which of them I prefer. It's not a clear-cut winner like with Haunted Mansion versus Phantom Manor. I like both Pirates equally. So it is time for me to say goodnight to Disneyland. But we're not quite done with the video yet. I'm not ready to leave Disneyland Resort just yet. The park closes in less than an hour because they have a Disney After Night event for Valentine's. And yeah, there's no reason for me to stay here because I don't have a ticket for the event and I don't have a Valentine. So instead, I'm going to park hop to Disney's California Adventure because they're open until 9. So that's an extra hour after Disneyland closes for their Sweethearts event. And there's one, maybe two things in particular that I want to do at this park. Since I spent all day in Disneyland and am now just coming into California Adventure, I guess I'd better dedicate the next Disneyland vlog to just California Adventure. I mean, after all, it is the 25th anniversary of the park, so it seems appropriate. So until that next trip, my only goal for right now is to go on Soarin' Over California because they had just changed Soarin' Around the World to Soarin' Over California, which I think is the superior Soarin'. There it is, Soarin' Over California, and I love that they just changed that sign underneath. So it's a 45-minute wait, but really there's nothing else for me to do today, so let's hop in line.
Hello and welcome to Soarin' Over California. My name is Patrick and I'll be your chief flight attendant today. Store all carry-on items in the underseat compartment. This includes cameras, purses, hats, and of course, these little beauties. Okay, let's review. That is seat belt, carry-on item, safety strap, fear of heights, keep your hands and arms inside at all times. Anything else? Yeah. Have a nice flight.
It may be a seasonal overlay, but there's just something that can't be beat when it comes to Soarin' Over California. Like, Soarin' Over the World, I've warmed up to over the years, but Soaring Over California just feels more real. It just feels more organic compared to all the corny cutaways that Soaring Around the World utilizes. It just doesn't feel as natural as the way Soaring Over California did. And I actually went on it 2 times in a row because the first time got me weirdly emotional while riding it. Just seeing the beauty of California, played to that Jerry Goldsmith score, which is brilliant. But there's another reason why it really got emotional for me. But that pretty much does it for California Adventure and my full day here at the Disneyland Resort. Before I got into California Adventure, I did say there was one, maybe 2 things I had to do. The first was Soaring Over California, but the other, I was trying to look for a piece of merchandise, a pin more specifically, that kind of represents California Adventure.
Attention please. Disney California Adventure has now ended its normal operating day. Buena Vista Street will remain open for an additional hour for your shopping convenience.
Oh, well, good thing I'm here.
Enjoy your visit, and that you'll return again soon.
Oh, I definitely will.
Good night, and have a safe journey home.
Thank you, and good night to you too, disembodied voice. All right, so I thankfully got all my shopping done, so I'm not going to stay in Buena Vista Street for that much longer. Earlier today, I bought a Disneyland t-shirt. I figured I needed a new one. This is the shirt I got. Definitely much better and more colorful, and it's got a list of all the attraction dates. So yeah, this is a good pickup. And then I also got 2 pins. I'm gonna show right here. So this one here, the Disneyland 70th anniversary pin. And then I tried looking for a California Adventure pin, and this was probably the best one I could find. There were fireworks going off as I was trying to focus on this California Adventure pin. But yeah, I think it's good. I wish the little Starbucks logo wasn't chained to the bottom, but I think it's a good pin. And so is this Disneyland 70th anniversary pin, which I kind of need to balance out my wall of Universal pins for Hollywood, and then Orlando for Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure. I showed this pin before, and then Epic Universe, which I have not been to yet. And then down here, I've got more pins. I didn't show this, but this is a pin I got at my visit to the La Brea Tar Pits a while back, which you can go check out that vlog on the channel. My main goal is basically to just deck out this entire backpack with pins of all the places I've been to. And the little strap-on bag that I brought with me to Universal Orlando and Cannes Film Festival. So that's all my Disneyland merch shopping for today. And it's time to exit California Adventure before they kick us out. I'm currently at downtown Disney at the moment, but before I end the video and go back home, there's something that I just need to point out with this video. If I may be serious for a moment, there's never a time I come to Disneyland and think, wow, that was underwhelming, or that sucked and ruined my whole day. I just don't have that mentality whenever I come to any theme park. I make it work as much as I can. That being said, this trip was kind of bittersweet. So if you've subscribed to my movie review channel, or if you followed me on Instagram, you may recall that during the last summer, I had a girlfriend. And during our time together, we had planned so many ideas for trips and adventures we could take with each other, which is why that ride on California Adventure really got me emotional. And one of the things we had planned to do was go to Disneyland together, because she had never gone during the holiday season and I wanted to take her. Obviously that didn't happen because it's February and also I'm by myself. But I'm not telling you all this to get pity points or to force you all to feel sorry for me, because we broke up back in August, and we both broke up in a way where it's like, it's sad, we don't want this to happen, and without getting personal, we just had different long-term goals that if we'd stayed together, it wouldn't have worked out. So I wish her nothing but the best. The point of me telling you this story is that things aren't going to work out the way you plan for them to work out, whether it's as simple as a YouTube video or something as complicated as life. Things are just not going to play out the way you want them to. which is why it's important to make the best of what you have. Sometimes situations that may seem bad at first may be a blessing in disguise or a giant moment to learn from these events. So again, I cherish every single moment I had in this relationship, and I hope nothing but the best for her. And for everyone out there watching this video, I hope you take this advice to heart, that things may suck. Like this year has been particularly crappy, even though we're in the middle of February, but try to make the best of what you have available. Like, it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be a long road, but just stick to what you love, do what you love for yourself and for the people around you, but mostly for yourself, because if you're happy, then that means everyone around you gets those vibes. Sorry for the abrupt cut, but there was a DJ out in downtown Disney that was about to do a set, so I figured to go to a more quiet area. I'm in the Donald Duck parking garage, but what I wanted to say was thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable for the last few minutes of this video. And thank you for watching this. If you made it to the end, that must mean you really like it. So consider subscribing to the channel for more theme park and travel videos. And I want to give a special shout out to Michaela and Nick, who I met in Galaxy's Edge behind me as I was filming the other Disneyland video that you're gonna see at the end of the month. It was great talking to you guys about theme parks and other theme park YouTubers out there. And for everyone else watching this video, if you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Threads, yes, I'm back on it, and my movie review channel right here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, take care, and until I see you next time, safe travels.